policemen of Manila are cleared of any criminal and administrative liability for detaining people in an inhuman secret cell discovered in April 2017. In a resolution dated December 22, 2020 and obtained by Rappler recently, the Office of the Ombudsman said there was not enough proof of bad faith on the part of the Manila Police District Roxabago Station 1. The Commission on Human Rights, or CHR, in 2017 discovered the station was holding 12 people in a dark, narrow space behind a bookshelf where there was no ventilation. The CHR described the cell as cramped, dingy, and fetid. The detainees had to urinate and defecate in plastic bags. Former Station Commander Superintendent Robert Domingo told the Ombudsman the holding room has sufficient lighting, ventilation, water supply, and urinals. But photos and videos captured by reporters and photojournalists present during the CHR's surprise visit tell a different story from the station commanders. Police officers said the cell was not secret because it has a visible separate entrance. In its complaint filed back in May 2017, the CHR cited the Anti-Torture Act, which prohibits confinement in solitary cells or secret detention places and maltreatment of prisoners. The CHR claims some detainees were beaten up and were asked to pay the police 12,000 pesos to 50,000 pesos for their release. But the police obtained declarations from the detainees that there was no torture, inhumane treatment, and extortion that happened. Some detainees even retracted their initial statements, as in the case of the woman who later on denied she was asked for money. The resolution says the CHR failed to establish probable cause against respondents for the crimes of arbitrary detention. The CHR, meantime, believes the police officers involved in the case should be held accountable. In a statement Tuesday, April 27, the Commission says it fears the practice may persist and may even embolden police officers to continue the wrongful practice. Former Health Secretary Manuel Dairit doubts the Philippines will meet its goal of vaccinating 70 million to achieve herd immunity this year. In a Rappler Talk interview Tuesday, April 27, Dairit cites limited operational capacity for mass vaccinations, especially in areas outside of Metro Manila, and problems with supply of COVID-19 vaccines.
My sense is we're not going to do 70 million this year. That's my sense. But as I said, it's a stretch goal. And I'd be ecstatic if we were able to reach 70 million this year.
Previously, vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. estimated the country would see a reduction in COVID-19 transmissions due to vaccinations sometime October or November. Currently, only over 1.7 million people have been vaccinated in the Philippines, a far fetch from the government's target of 70 million. Dairit describes vaccination operations as very complex, from ensuring supply up to master listing beneficiaries. He says the government's vaccination efforts should be ramped up.
To get to that rate, we have to be doing as high as 350,000 to 500,000 jabs a day. Where are we now? We're at around 44,000 jabs a day, which means we have to ramp up by 10 times and very quickly.
15 senators filed proposed Senate Resolution number 709 Tuesday, April 27, seeking to censure Antonio Parlade Jr. for his disrespectful, derogatory, and demeaning statements against senators. Parlade called the legislators stupid after several of them sought to defund the government's anti-communist task force. Senators argue in their resolution Parlade's behavior was not helping the government's counterinsurgency efforts. The senators say progressive thinking is not communism. They add, involvement in the humanitarian community efforts do not constitute rebellion, sedition, or terrorism. The following are the senators who signed the resolution. These 9 senators, who all belong to the majority bloc, did not co-sign the resolution against Parlade. A separate resolution calling for a probe into how the task force is using its 19.1 billion peso budget is already filed in the Senate. This was prompted by the baseless and unsubstantiated public claims of Parlade and its other spokesperson, Communications Undersecretary Lorraine Badoy. Before this, Badoy accused the Senate Employees Union of being a front for the communist underground. This sparked outrage from the employees and senators themselves. The two have also been gagged on the issue of community pantries by National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. after Parlade and Badoy red-tagged the organizers. Makati prosecutors clear 11 men of rape and homicide complaints in the case of 23-year-old flight attendant Christine Dacera. She was found unresponsive in a Makati hotel bathtub on January 1 after a party gone wrong. In a 19-page resolution issued Tuesday, April 27, the prosecutors say they found no probable cause to charge the 11 individuals of rape. The complainant, Christine's mother Sharon, submitted a medical legal report supposedly showing deep-healed lacerations in the young woman's genital area. But prosecutors say the report is insufficient to prove that penile penetration was committed, and the analysis showed that there was no mixed DNA in Christine's underwear. Sharon also alleged Christine's drink was spiked, but prosecutors explain a chemistry report did not provide conclusive presumption. The Dacera family is considering other options following the resolution. This case highlights the gaps in police investigation. Makati police quickly arrested without warrant some of the respondents and ordered a manhunt also without a warrant. K-pop global sensation BTS surprised their fans on Monday, April 26 with a teaser for their new digital single, Butter. The digital single will be released on May 21, 1 p.m. Korea Standard Time. The group announces the new single Butter will melt its way into the hearts of all ARMY. While there are no details if Butter will be attached to a new album, BTS shares a physical copy of the single will be released in Korea and around the world. In November 2020, the group released their album B. Their first full English track, Dynamite, has been breaking records since its release in August 2020. The group's fans call themselves ARMY. Last week, April 21, all 7 members of the group, RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook left a message for its Filipino fans.